Good morning, students. Students, today we will start our civics, and this will be the first chapter, that is the Indian Constitution. Today we will start it. First of all, I will tell you the civics. Students, we have studied history, and in history we come to know about the historical part, and you can see history of our Indian country, our India. And the second thing, that is geography, we know about the atmospheric condition and the climatic condition and the different landforms in the geography. Now, if we think about civics, in civics, we study about our society, about our political system of the country. तो अगर मैं civics की बात करता हूँ, in civics, we come to know about the Indian administration. And before getting to know the Indian administration system, first of all, we must have the knowledge about the Indian Constitution, because it's a very important part to know and to, you can say, to understand what type of political system in India has. So before discussing about the political system of India, first of all, we must know about the Indian Constitution. And this is the first chapter of our Indian, you can say, of our 8th civics. So the Indian Constitution, and this will be the first part of the of this chapter, you can say. Students, so students, first of all, we will see which topics we will cover in this total chapter, you can say whole chapter. First of all, there will be introductory part in which I will tell you what are the contents, and you can say what are the topic means what do you think about the Indian Constitution. We will discuss all these things in the introductory part. Second, we will discuss about why do we need a constitution. This is the second thing, and this is the second topic which we will cover in this, you can say, chapter. Now the third one, we will understand the key features of the Indian Constitution. What are the different characteristics, you can say, of the Indian Constitution. We will discuss about all these things. And we will discuss about why do we need a constitution. Means why a constitution is required for a country. We will discuss all these things in this chapter. And at the last of the things, we again move to the key features of the Indian Constitution. In the whole chapter, we will cover all these topics. And the topic name is the Indian Constitution. Then we will cover all these topics in this chapter. Okay. So before moving, and you can say before discussing what is a constitution, first of all, I want to discuss another things. Here, two pictures are there in front of you. If you see all these things, there is a one picture of football and the second picture of the cricket. If you see all these things, can you imagine a situation where these games don't follow any rule and regulation? Can we play them? Can we tell who is the winner and who is the loser? If any person is winner, can we say it that person is fairly become a you can say winner? Without rule and regulation, can we play these games? This is the basic question. Think about the situation where these games are playing and they are not following any rule and regulation. Can it easy to, you can say, to get a result of these games? I think so. The answer of this question is no. So students, whenever we play any game, it means whether it is football, whether it is cricket and any other game, we have to follow some rule and regulation, and according to which we have to act upon. Hence, whatever is game is played by us, every game has some rule and regulation, and on that rule and regulation, we have to play that particular game. Then we have the result of that particular game. Who is the loser? Who is the winner of the game? Okay, students. So if we think about rule and regulation, so each of these rules, they help us to define the game, how to play it, and it is also helpful for us to distinguish one game from the another one also. So if we think about rule and regulation, in this way, these rule and regulation are important for our game. Okay, this is the thing when we have create a situation in which if we don't follow any rule and regulation, we are not play any game in a well manner. Now think about our society. Can we play a role? Yeah, you can say, can we behave in a very well manner in a society where there is no rule and regulations? I think so. The answer of this question will be no. Like these games, if we want to play these games in a very well manner, and you can say in a fair manner, we have to follow rule and regulation. In like these games, our society have some basic rule and regulations according to which we have to conduct in the society, according to which you can say we have to behave. So every society has some basic rule and regulations that make it what it is, means which type of society it is, and what kind of, you can say, features of this society has, and how this society is different from the other one. Okay, so you can say the rule and regulation of the society, and you can say of a country, it is very important aspect. So we are discussing here constitution. And if you think about constitution, it is a set of rule and regulation according to which a country is governed. If you think about constitution, it is a set of rule and regulations on that basis our Indian government, and you can say the government of any country, function. So this is the constitution. Now come to the point that what is the constitution. Now we will discuss the this topic, what is the constitution. So my dear students, if we think about a constitution, it is a set of fundamental principles, and you can say rule and regulations which are established in our society, and you can say in our state, according to which a state, or you can say a country, or any other organization where this constitution is adopted, it is governed. Constitution, it is not important that just only it is followed just only by a country also. It can be followed by any organization also, because to make administration efficient, to run the working of the organization in an efficient and well manner, we require some set of rule and regulation. Whenever these rule and regulation, it is written in the form, then it becomes a constitution of that particular organization. Same in the way, if we think about a country, and you can say a state, the fundamental principle according to which the government will function, these are written things, and these are called a constitution. So we can say that a constitution, it is a set of rules by which the government governs a country, and by which the government has to act upon it. Okay, so if we think about constitution, it means government has to act upon according to that. It means a government have to function according to it. It means it is the supreme law of the country. Means the government is not about that law, that you can say document. It means that the government has to, you can say, act upon according to that rule and regulation. You can say that the constitution. So this is why the supreme law, this is why the constitution, you can say the constitution is considered the supreme law of the country, and you can say of the land. Okay, students. So this is the constitution. Now, students, we will consider some important facts about our Indian constitution. Now, I have discussed the constitution. Students, I have given the information, what is the constitution. After getting the knowledge, I think so, of the constitution, I want to tell you one thing, that India is a democratic country. It has also a constitution, and according to which Indian government functions. So I want to tell you some important facts about our Indian constitution. My dear students, if we think about our Indian constitution, it is the longest written constitution in the world. Means all the country, whether it is a democratic or non-democratic, does not matter. But my dear students, I want to tell you one thing, that in all the country, whether it is democratic, whether it is non-democratic, every country has, you can say, a constitution. हर एक देश का एक constitution होता है, and according to which you can say that government functions. The function of the government, you can say, it is maintained, and it is, you can say, abide by according to that constitution. This is the first, you can say, fact of our Indian constitution. The second thing, अगर मैं बात करता हूँ, our Indian Constitution, it is came into force. You can say it is implemented on the 26th January 1950. This is the second fact about our Indian Constitution. Okay, dear students. Now listen very carefully, and this fact I have not written, and you can say I have not mentioned in this slide, that the original copy of our Constitution, it is written in the, you can say, Hindi and English, in both languages. You can say it is written in both languages, that is Hindi and English. And it is also kept in a special helium-filled case in the library of the Parliament of India. This fact I have not written in it, that the original copy of our Indian Constitution, it was written in, you can say it is written in Hindi and English in both languages. And this document, you can say, is kept in a special helium gas case, helium-filled gas case in the library of our Indian Parliament. This is the first important fact about Indian Constitution. The second thing, and you can say second most important thing, the first copy of our Indian Constitution, it is handwritten, and it was written by Prem Bihari Narayan Rejadi. This is the important fact of our Indian Constitution. Okay, students, and every page of our Indian Constitution, which was written by Prem Bihari Narayan, every page, it is uniquely, you can say, decorated by the artist from the Shanti Niketans. These are important two facts which I have not mentioned in the slides, but I have told to you. That the first one is that the original copy of the Constitution, it was written in Hindi and English language, and you can say that कि जिस केस के अंदर इस इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के अंदर रखा गया है, इट वाज यू कैन से हीलियम फिल्ड केस, जो कि हमारे इंडियन पार्लियामेंट की जो लाइब्रेरी है, दैट इज द लाइब्रेरी ऑफ इंडियन पार्लियामेंट, इट इज केप्ट इन दैट लाइब्रेरी. And the second most important thing, the first copy of our Indian Constitution, it was a handwritten thing, and which was written by Prem Bihari Narayan. And the whole document, it was, you can say, decorated by the artist of the Shanti Niketan. Okay, students, these are two important facts. You can say it is not mentioned in the this slide, but I want to tell you these things. Okay, students, let's come to our Indian Constitution. If our Indian Constitution, if you think about our Indian Constitution, you can say it is based on some different, and you can say some basic principles like democracy, socialism, and secularism. These are important, you can say, principles on which our Indian Constitution is based. Now, next most important fact, that who is considered the father of Indian Constitution? This is Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar. If you think about Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar, there is a drafting committee. In 1946, we have a drafting committee of the 7 members in which there is Bhim Rao Ambedkar is there. He is the, you can say, chairperson of the drafting committee. And this drafting committee create the framework of the, you can say, total whole Indian Constitution. And this was discussed in the parliament, and the number of the, you can say, in the parliament is 389 of all over the country. Okay, because this Indian Constitution, it is prepared by the drafting committee of Indian Council. So the chairperson of the drafting committee, it is Bhim Rao Ambedkar. That's why Bhim Rao Ambedkar is considered the father of the Indian Constitution. So these are some important facts about our Indian Constitution. You must know about all these things also. Okay, students, I think so this is clear to all of you. Now, students, come to the next topic, that is brief history of Indian Constitution. It is very most important for us because we must know about it. How our Indian Constitution prepared. We must know about all these things because it is very most important to know about the Indian Constitution. So my dear students, I want to tell you one thing. In 1934, the Indian National Congress, if you think about Indian National Congress, it was formed, you can say, in 1885. This is the oldest national political party of our India, and it has participated in the freedom struggle of India. So INC, that is called Indian National Congress, it made a demand for a constituent assembly in 1934. Because before the 1934, India, it is ruled by the Britishers, and we have to act upon according the rule and regulation which are prepared by the Britishers. So in 1934, the Indian National Congress, if we think about, they made a demand that we must have a constituent assembly, and this constituent assembly has the right, you can say, had the right to make the Indian constitution, and according to which the country will govern. During the Second World War, if we think about, now the point is that is Second World War. So there were two world wars in the world. The first one is 1914 to 1918, and Second World War, that is 1939 to 1945. It means we are discussing about the time period of 1939 to 1945. During the Second World War, this assertion, it means the demand of the Constituent Assembly, it was, you can say, it was at the high, at the peak. You can say at the peak. And December 1940, you can say 1946, Indian government, yeah, you can say Indian people get the first Constituent Assembly of the Indian member. Now, between December 1946 to November 1949, listen carefully what I have said, that December 1946 to November 1949, our Constituent Assembly drafted a constitution for the independent India. We have taken the aspect from other country also. We have taken some rule and regulation of the, you can say, constitution of the Government of India Act of 1935 and 1945 also. But students, here I want to tell you one thing. We have analyzed all these things. Then we have expected, you can say, we have accepted only few things, whatever is reasonable and whatever is beneficial for us. So between 1946 to November 1949, our Indian Constituent Assembly, it drafted the finest and the lengthiest constitution for the independent India. Now students, our Indian Constitution, it was passed on 26 November 1949, but the Indian Constitution, it was implemented, and you can say it came into force on 26 January 1950. Listen carefully. But I have said that the Constitution of India, it was passed, and you can say it was completed on 26 November 1949. But we have implemented it on 26 January 1950. The basic reason is here some historical fact. Now I want to tell you what that historical fact, due to which our Indian Constitution was adopted, and you can say was implemented on 26 January 1950. Students, in December 1929, there is a Congress session in Lahore, and under the leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru, if we think about it, in that session, it was decided that 26 January 1930, it was celebrated as a complete Independence Day. Okay, so due to the significance of that particular event, that is complete Independence Day, 26 January, that's why our Indian Constitution was adopted, and you can say came into force or implemented on 26 January 1950. This was the basic reason why we have adopted our Indian Constitution on 26 January 1950. And after adopting the Constitution of India, India became a republic country, and it is celebrated as this day as a Republic Day. Now, now we have 26 January as a Republic Day. So students, this is the brief history of our Indian Constitution. I think so it is clear to all of you. Now students, I want to tell you one thing that is called preamble. It's a very most important page, you can say, of our Indian Constitution. First of all, I will tell you what is a preamble. A preamble, it is the introductory part of our Constitution. Whenever you open a book, you have some introductory part of each and every chapter that tell us the whole chapter in a brief manner. And you can say this preamble, it is the introductory part of our Indian Constitution, which tell us about the basic features on which our Indian Constitution is based. Okay, so this preamble, you can say it is the very most important thing in our Indian Constitution. in whole world where there is a constitution, the introductory part of every constitution, it is a preamble. Okay, students. So let's consider this thing. What is a preamble and what this page tell us? First of all, there is a bold letter word, we the people of India. What does it mean? It means that this whole constitution, it is prepared by the representative of our Indian people. We all people did not participated in it, but we have sent some representatives, and these representatives taken decision on the behalf of us. So that's why this is called that we the people of India. It means we all people of India adopt this thing. We have prepared this thing. It means that we have accepted that sovereign India is a sovereign country. What does it mean, sovereign? We will discuss just only the bold letter things, not the whole thing. We will discuss only bold letter thing. Sovereign country. If we think about India's sovereign country, it means that Indian government has right to take the decision, internal matter as well as the external matter of the country. So that's why India became a sovereign country. Now, India is a socialist country. It means in society, there is an equality. There is no any difference. There is no, you can say, a difference on the basis of caste, color, and anything. Equality is there in society, and every creed, every class have equal opportunity to get development. Next one is secular country. It means India does not have any official religion. All religion in India are equal. As a citizen, I can choose any religion, I can change my religion also. So India is a secular country. India does not have any, you can say, religion. Next one, democratic. India is a democratic country. It means we will accept the government that is democratic. It means it is the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. The rulers, whosoever is govern the country, that person must be an elected person. Next one is republic country. This is the most important point. Listen, students. Republic means the head of the state. It means the head of the country must be an elected person. The person, the country where the head of the government, the head of the state, it is the elected person, that country is considered the republic country. I want to give you here one example. If we think about Britain, England. England is a democratic country, but it is not a republic country because there is no president in that country. But if we think about USA, there is no prime minister, only president is working there. And if we think about president, the president of the USA, it is the elected person. That's why you can say in USA is a republic country. I think so. The term republic, you will well aware about it. Now, next thing, the features is given to all citizens. That is justice. Whether the justice is social, economic, and political. The justice is given to all the people in an equal manner. Whether I'm a common person, whether I'm a president, it doesn't matter. Justice, it is given to all people in an equal manner. Liberty, it means freedom of thoughts, expression, worship, and faith, etc. So we have liberty. And if we think about equality, we have equality to grow up. We have equality in all the sphere of the part, everywhere. And the next one is the fraternity. It means the brotherhood. So these are the key features on what basis our Indian Constitution is there. Okay, students. So this is the preamble, and you can say the introductory part of our Indian Constitution. So students, I think everything is clear to all of you. So I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Have a nice day.